What is happening, people of the ContentCAST? And today I had to make this video really quickly because I've just got back from the Andrew Tate versus Chase DeMoor private press conference here in Dubai for Misfits Boxing. Obviously, when I say private, it was a bit of an invite-only event. I just want to share with you my thoughts and experience of that, because you'll see people with all the news and the press conference, the full coverage and all that jazz, and you can go and watch that on all the relevant channels. But for me, I want to take you through exactly my thoughts on the whole situation. Obviously, those two guys fighting. Obviously, Chase DeMoor is the Misfits boxing champion, and Andrew is coming to take that. He's obviously now been announced as the CEO of Misfits, which obviously you'll all know. And anybody who's into the crossover influencer boxing scene will understand that as well. So while I was here in Dubai, I had to come down and come to this because I'm a massive fan of this whole crossover influencer boxing thing. I've actually worked on quite a few Misfits events and filmed for them. So I thought, who better to go to the press conference of than the most Googled man on the planet? Why not talk about that? So it wasn't any normal entrance. Normally you'll have two people who'll come head to head, they'll have the bullshit back and forth, they'll spit their words, they'll try and sell the fight, and then they'll do the face off, and then obviously down the line we'll go and do the fight. So Chase DeMoor is there, he's ready, he's waiting.
To fighting in combat sports, which he's dominated his entire life, but this first time here on Misfits.
He gets a bit of a nice reception of everyone clapping, and obviously people are really there for Andrew. Now, obviously, no disrespect to Chase, he is the champion, so ultimately he is the one who calls the shots. But when you're fighting the CEO of the company, there's going to be politics involved, there's going to be things involved, right? So Chase gets there, the whole crowd is, waiting, anticipating Andrew's arrival. Wade, who was obviously the host at Misfits, and he does a really good job, he was basically chatting shite on the mic, trying to keep people's attention because Andrew wasn't showing up, so everyone was like, where the fuck is he?
Folks, help me in welcoming to the stage, Andrew Cobra Tate! Cobra, Andrew Tate!
Somebody's scared already.
In the back of my mind, I kind of knew this is all kind of staged. There's, it is getting like very WWE-esque. They've obviously got a lot of young eyes on the sport, so why not judge it up a bit like they do in WWE? But that's probably going to piss a lot of the real boxing fanatics up, because obviously when it comes to the Panto style stuff, they're probably not going to like that. However, I am a fan of professional boxing. Obviously, people know who've watched the channel. I've got a lot of professional boxers on here who I've interviewed for the podcast. But I also know a few of the influencer lads as well. And one thing I want to make clear, because I had a conversation with someone very recently, a lot of pro boxers used to be pissed off at these influencers, so to speak, who were coming on and making a paycheck and never had a fight in their life. But the argument would be, a lot of these influencers have worked hard to build their following, so you can't take that away from them, so they deserve the shot, right? And ultimately, anybody who gets in the ring, whether you're a knacker, a numpty or not, you definitely deserve respect for just going in there. Like that's gonna attack bottle in it. Anyhow, so back to the story. So we're all waiting. Andrew Tate, get this, turns up in a fucking boat. He turns up in a boat. It wasn't a yacht, but it was a boat. It was like a rib, if you like. It was coming across the sea in Dubai up to the venue.
You little bitch ass!
Jim, you have to know this is mind game. He's flexing on you right now. He's the top tier in his city. And he's bringing the phone to the press conference, making you wait on him.
Obviously, there's back and forth, and Chase is hanging around, and he probably feels like he's been a bit mugged off if it's not staged.
You've seen him flex in the cars. We were out earlier today in the desert, and that man rolled up in his Bugatti. He's rolling up in the boat now. You might have to place a bet down, champ.
Listen, I showed up in a 2004 Honda Civic. It doesn't matter, I'm still gonna be a packing.
Andrew turns up with Tristan, his entourage. They march through.
Let him bask in the glory while he can, because the whole world's gonna watch me starch out Andrew Tate.
Oh, hey, by the way, you can take a look behind you. There he is. What do you think of the fit?
Man, Zara must be treating that guy nice.
Obviously go through the lobby, they come into the room where it was set up on the rooftop at the venue. It was just insane, because obviously when he's walked in the building, people have been like, fucking hell, I can't believe it.
Thanks for showing up.
What have I missed?
Not much, Top G. We were just
Not much. What Chase was talking. Everyone gives a fuck about what Chase says. What do you mean not much?
Yeah, the room gets real quiet when I walk in here, buddy.
For me, I wasn't really fooled. Did it feel a bit panto? It did. It definitely felt a little bit panto. But at the same time, I also understand the business. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of what Misfits is doing, to be fair. So I can't really grumble. I just get along with it. And I actually said to the lad who I was with, Leon, I said, do you know what's mad, mate? I was like, it makes us feel like I'm 10-year-old, like I'm watching wrestling again. But I kind of know it's fake. This whole, or it might not be, but in my head, I'm thinking it looks a bit fake. But I kind of enjoy it anyway, so I kind of take it for what it is, you know what I mean? So obviously Andrews came in. This is where, for me, it kind of turned a little bit south. Chase, I'm going to give him respect for kind of holding his own on the mic. I would have felt like an absolute numpty waiting for my opponent. Felt probably a bit disrespectful. Andrews turned up. He's basically whipped out Tangerine. Again, if you watch the full press conference on any other channel on YouTube, they'll have the full shebang, so you can watch it there. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, he's eating a tangerine here. Like, he's mugging him off good and proper, which is obviously Andrew's plan, and it's working. You can tell he offers Wade a tangerine, he offers Chase one. I think Chase throws it away in the river. Obviously, they get to it. Now, Chase is coming up with all these kind of random, it's almost, to me, it's almost cheesy, that kind of jargon, the shit he was coming out with. And again, you'll have to watch a full press conference, but Andrew didn't really have much to say to him. He's like, is that all you've got? Like, he almost looked a little bit embarrassed for Chase, and for me, that was like a big defining moment in who people are in this. And I think Andrew knows fine and well, he is the money, he is the guy, all his eyes are on there. Like, for me personally, regardless of what people think of Andrew Tate, when I was watching him, or when I was going to that event, my eyes were only on him, because regardless what people like about him or dislike about him, I actually texted someone just about this today who wasn't a fan of Tate, and I was like, but he's fascinating to watch, and what's he going to come out with? In regards to the back and forth, Andrew didn't really have a lot to say. I thought he would have brought more to the table in regards to he's lethal with his one-liners. He's a chess player. He thinks like that as well. He's always 3 steps ahead, 4 steps ahead, but he didn't really come up with anything that I would have saw on social media. Now, I don't know Andrew Tate. I don't know him in the slightest. So for me personally, as a fan of the Misfits boxing scene, or the crossover boxing, I was actually a bit let down that more wasn't said. I wanted more shit talk, and I wanted more of that, and I think a lot of the fans did. I kind of got that anyway. Chase, again, it was just a little bit cheesy for me, but I'll give him his respect because he held his own, and ultimately he's got to fight the lad, isn't he? So they're going to say what's going to happen. But I think in regard to the actual fight, obviously Chase doesn't stand a chance. Is he a more experienced boxer? Yes. Is he the champion of that kind of scene? Yes. Is he worth the fight? Yes, of course he is. He's the top boy in Misfits. But Andrew is a world champion kickboxer, and I understand that's only part of the discipline because he's kickboxing, but at the same time, he is a combat sport veteran, and in the professional realm as well. So when it comes to the real moments of do or die, I believe that Andrew's probably more equipped for that than what Chase is. But I think in that domain, Chase is the bigger guy. Ultimately, he's tall. He's just a bigger guy in general. So I do still think Andrew's got his opponent picked carefully, though. He's not just going in there against Darren Till, is he? He's not going in there against another name. He's going there against Chase, and I think he's a convenient person to fight. Obviously, anything can happen. It's a puncher's chance. Anybody can get knocked the fuck straight out, can't they? So it could go either way. By the way, if my voice is croaky, it's because it's 3 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm absolutely shattered, but I want to make this video, like I say. And I think, ultimately, that is where it lies. I think Andrew knows who he's picked for a reason. I think there's a reason he's coming back now. A lot of speculation, like, why would you come back out now? You haven't fought for so many years. And now, after everything that you've been through, why are you actually fighting now? Is it because you are the CEO of Misfits and all that jazz? But I think it's the right time effect for Andrew. I think he's picked an opponent at the right time for him. And of course, he's calculated. That's his character. That's who he is. So, fair play to both of them. I think, again, like I've just said, anybody gets respect for getting in the ring to start with. Obviously, on the super stage in Dubai, all the heat, all the attention. There was a bit back and forth between them both about Chase thinks that he give Andrew the opportunity to fight him for his title, which he did. Of course he did. He is the title holder. So he is giving anybody who wanted to fight him the opportunity to take that title. But I also understand Andrew's point of view because he said that, but I give you your shot. Like, the world is watching Chase because of Andrew Tate. It's not really the way around, so I do get that. There was a bit banter about Andrew was going to give him a disciplinary if he doesn't sort his act out, and I think that was quite funny. Other than that, I don't think there was any real surprising moments or shocking moments, and I've actually seen more hype from professional boxers when really all the shit talk, all the back and forth, all that shit should be done on these events, because this is lads who've effectively, you know, they're in the entertainment business. I understand boxing is, professional boxing is, but this is proper people come for the smack talk. And I feel like that wasn't really delivered by both parties tonight. But fair play to them both. They did what they did. I think Andrew does want to, from what I gather, if he is the CEO, and I want to get onto that, I think that he does have a duty to become a good person, because if you look at his history and the things he's came out with, but yet at a press conference, up against a man who's going to try and take his head off and put him in hospital, as he said tonight, he was very, very respectful. And I'm not saying Andrew's not respectful. He obviously must be some kind of respectful bloke. You do hear that in person. He is that way, but at the same time, to someone who's going to kill you and the shit talking you, I would have expected more, knowing Andrew's character from the things I've seen on social. Whether that has been blown out of context or not, I've still seen what I've seen, so I understand that. There was a few moments where Andrew actually said to Chase, that was pretty good, you could clip that. So I think he kind of knew what would be clipped, and I think Andrew realised pretty quickly that none of this is really clippable stuff, and I think he was quite soured by that. I just expected a bit more, if I'm totally honest. The whole Andrew Tate being the CEO thing is something I want to mention as well, because this is my belief. I don't know. There's no facts when I say this, but this is my speculation. This is what I believe. And I'd love to know your comments on what you think if you're a fan of this industry, of this game, the whole crossover thing, and specifically Misfits. Now, obviously, Andrew Tate has been announced as CEO. People think, is he really the CEO? Well, he must be. He is the CEO. He came and took KSI's company from under him. What I believe, I don't believe he is. I'd love to see the legal paperwork surrounding this whole thing, because I don't think he is. I think what's actually going to happen is Andrew's going to be Chase regardless, because it wouldn't be right for boxing if the CEO gets beat, because then where does he go from there? That just wouldn't happen. Andrew's going to win, so I'm going to say that now. He'll definitely win. Regardless, he'll win. But then it will be teed up nicely for KSI to fight Andrew Tate for his company back later down the line. I think that Misfits are just trying to buy a little bit of time, because obviously KSI's had some injuries and stuff, and I think that's kind of a strategic move from the Misfits Corporation, or the company, if you like, because why would you just quickly whip the rug under KSI and give it to someone who's arguably touch and go when it comes to political movements and shit like that? So, you know, he's so polarising, which is what makes Andrew Tate fucking great. Of course it does. That's why he's so hard to not watch. You've just got to watch him, haven't you? So regardless of what your thoughts are. So I do kind of understand it all, and that's what I believe. I would love to know your thoughts, but the whole event, this is going to be colossal. This fight on the 20th of December is going to be mental. The world will be tuned in for this 100%. I know I'm definitely going to be. It was meant to actually be there and feel the atmosphere. Obviously, you had a lot of people in the crowd. Obviously, massive shout out to Warren Spencer, obviously the mechanic. You had Ben Williams. You had all the lads obviously are there. Obviously, the mechanic, Warren Spencer's going to be fighting Tony Ferguson as well on that card, so that's going to be fucking mental. I know Andrew and Warren are doing a bit of training together as well, so I think they're quite pally-pally when it comes to that. I mean, I'm going off tangent here, but Warren's an absolute gent, he really is. So fair play to him as well. And I just think, my overall thoughts, the shit talk let us down. I know this was a bit of an invite-only / private press conference, so maybe they'll do a media or open press conference where they'll probably judge it a little bit more. Keep saying judge, what a numpty. But I hopefully that will be the case. But as far as I'm aware, this is all that's been announced. So yeah, it was good to see them, and good to see what was going on, the back and forth. Was I let down by it? Yes, I was, because I'm a massive fan and I wanted to see more. That's all that is. But I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know where you're at. Are you Team Tate? Are you Team Chase? where you're at. What do you think of crossover boxing, influencer boxing, if you like? What do you think of Misfits? Do you think it's good for the sport? Do you think it's healthy for the sport? What are your actual thoughts? The people who are watching this right now, obviously this is going to be uploaded at a mental time of 3 o'clock in the morning. I know the UK is still 11 o'clock, so I'll get this straight out now. But while I've been to it, while I've literally came back, I've had the experience. It was phenomenal. While I've been out here in Dubai, it's just been, yeah, not many people will have been able to be in that room that I was in. Well, there was less than probably 100 people there. So that is small for the most Googled man on the planet. And let's face it, that's who he is. So yeah, unreal. Let us know your thoughts. Like I say, I was a little bit let down by the back and forth, but other than that, the event's going to be a fucking spectacle. It really is. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Who do you want to win? Do you think it's a setup? Do you think it's staged? Do you think it's a bit of a panto? Do you think it's gone too far? What do you think? If you're watching this, you probably already saw the full press conference anyway, so you'll know the crack. So let us know what your thoughts are on that. And until the next one. Let us know, actually, if you want us to do any more boxing-related content. Obviously, I have got professional boxers and athletes on the podcast anyway, where I actually interview them. But this space is something that really fucking excites me to another level. And I feel like a lot of people just post shit or short interviews or short clips, and there's no one really breaking down their experience. I'm like, you've got all these journalists there. Why are you not talking about your experience? Like, fucking hell, that's all I do anyway. That's literally what I do every single day, every single week on YouTube. So why not do it in the boxing? I know a lot of people come to me, ads, get more boxers on, get more MMA fighters on, get these people on the channel. When I first started, my first ever podcast was with Tony Jeffries, obviously Olympic medalist, boxer, good lad, and obviously I've had a shitload of people on. Josh Kelly, who's coming up for a world title, a good mate of mine. He'll be fighting in January in Newcastle. So yeah, if you want me to do any more boxing stuff, or you want us to see me at any of these events interviewing the fighters myself, I could probably make that happen as well. So yeah, just let me know what you think. Let us know if you want to see more shit like this. I know this is a bit random. I'm in some grungy hotel room in the middle of Dubai. Well, it's not grungy, it's all right, but yeah, I'm in the middle of Dubai. And apologies to anybody from Dubai or stateside who can't understand my accent as well, because I am a Macam. I am from Sunderland, so I might speak a bit Raj. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video and sound.